What's happening, y'all? It's the Ryan Plumber here, and I'm here with a very special guest.
G'day, guys. It's Verdugo29, otherwise known by his persona as the Verd. Let's go.
The
Let's do
Verd.
it.
I like it.
Kind of like The Rock, but the Australian version. So
Absolutely. Is Verd Australian for rock? I don't.
it's the best I can come up with that works with my name. Okay.
No, I hear
I couldn't
you.
say like Verdugo.
I,
Verdugo just sounds shit.
no, I hear you, man. Definitely. So we just wanted to do a couple of these interviews leading up to the draft, just to let you guys, the fans, get to know the coaches a little bit better, get to know their battling style and who they are. So we're just here to interview them and kind of have this as an intro leading up to the draft. So first off, we're going to start off with just a couple things about you, Verd, or the Verd. What's your team name?
Just to be clear, I would like to be classified as the Verd
All right,
from now on.
sounds
Just-
good.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. My team name for this season is the Tampa Bay Frogadiers, much like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, only slightly more froggy. We're feeling good. We're feeling ready for this season.
Interesting. So how did you come up with your team name?
Well, I tell you what, I watch a lot of NFL like you guys do over in America. Basically, Australia has their own version of football. You have your own version of football. I am actually a massive San Francisco 49ers fan, but I saw the Buccaneers and I thought, nobody's done a Buccaneers name. Kind of sounds like Frogadiers. Boom. Idea happened. History making.
There you go, man. Sounds good. So, how long have you been doing YouTube for?
Ooh, he's asking the hard questions, ladies and gentlemen. I started doing YouTube back in 2013 when I was a plucky young teenage boy just finishing high school, and I think Pokemon X and Y had just come out, and I said, "Let's do it, man. Let's record stuff." I initially recorded my gameplay off of my iPad, which made it look like I had sent a capture card through a microwave. The conditioning was poor. The commentary was golden, but the conditioning was poor. Eventually, I got into Showdown, and ever since then, I have been not uploading that much.
I hear you, man. It's tough. Sometimes we're busy. What's your favorite Pokemon game out of all the Pokemon games?
Ryan, if I can call you Ryan.
Sure.
A lot of people, they ask me this question, like kids, they walk up on the street, they see me, they know me, with my big 80 subscriber fan base, they know me.
Of course,
they
man.
come up, they tell me, like, what's your favorite Pokemon game? I get it all the time, and I have to tell them the truth. For me, it is Pokemon Emerald. I loved Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, but Emerald kind of combined it all together. You got to fight. It's like the only game, I believe, where you get to fight both Magma and Aqua at the same time, like both of the sides of the coin, which I thought was sick. Like, don't get me wrong, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I know that's like a soft spot for everybody, and it was great, but just Emerald for me was like the best. I think best storyline, just the best overall gameplay. It was sick.
Absolutely. Alright, so a lot of people ask, like, what's your favorite Pokemon or whatever, but I kind of want to put a different spin on that. If you could become any Pokemon ever, what Pokemon would you become?
I mean, obvious answers that I think people would go for here. I'm gonna think people would maybe go for like Ditto, so they can be anybody they want.
Alright, that's
Mewtwo,
cheating, but yeah.
let's be real. But I don't need to be anybody else. I already am the Great One. So I think if I was gonna be a Pokemon, I'd have to copy my mascot, the powerful Bisharp. He's sleek, he's sharp, he is the epitome of cool, and I think he is a role model for the kids to look up to. But funnily enough, Bisharp is actually not my favorite Pokemon. He is my mascot. He is my channel mascot. But he is not my favorite Pokemon. But I would rather look like Bisharp if I was gonna pick out of the two. I'd rather look like Bisharp.
Absolutely, I hear you. So, going off of that, that just gives us a little look into what your channel is like, but I kind of want to get into some, like, competitive stuff, like, how many leagues have you been in, like, draft-style leagues?
Oh. As many leagues as I can put hands on fingers. I started. Ooh, this is gonna be nostalgic. A couple of years back, a friend of mine by the name of Adam the Bee's Knees. He came up to me and said, "Look, got a league I'm running with some people that used to be part of a channel called PokePal's World. It is an ancient relic now, and they said, look, we have a GBA tournament we want you to be in." And I was like, all right, I'll do it. Now, my initial team, ladies and gentlemen, it was terrible. My idea of draft formatting was shocking. I think I had Scolipede, which you don't normally see, and there's a reason for that. It just wasn't very good at the time. I definitely need to lift my game a bit, but I started doing league play in about 2014, I want to say. And over that time, I've been in countless leagues, whether it be Wi-Fi leagues, showdown leagues, everything, you name it. I've been through times when I was allowed to use Hooper Unbound and Mega Metagross and just swept competitions, but also been on the receiving end of those ass whoopings. It's just happened. And I've come to the point now where I realize that I might not be the best battler that you've ever seen, but I'll be goddamned if someone says they are a better team builder than me in this competition, because that is like my thing. That's all I'm good at, is building a good team, and I'm going to prove that to you people. my experience in the league will show.
Absolutely, man. I've played against you in a couple leagues now, and you definitely have some incredible team building in your arsenal. So you've played a lot of League, you've played a lot of Showdown as well, from what I hear. What is your favorite? Do you prefer like League or do you prefer Showdown?
Oof. I think I prefer League, just because like, I've played Showdown, but I find League with the animations and kind of the more, this just seems like more suspense and thought process. And the other thing is, you don't see like all these other people maybe that are in a chat watching your battle commenting and saying like, oh, you choke, you do all this stuff. It doesn't like affect your psyche. When you get into that battle on Wi-Fi, it is just you against your opponent, and you can just try and focus on what you got to do and not have those jabronis in the back trying to talk crap to you. So
definitely, man, those jabronis. Gotta hate those jabronis.
They're ugly. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, what's your favorite Pokemon to use in the League format and why?
Well, people that would know me know that for a solid 4 or 5 leagues in a row, my first pick was Clefable. I believe it is probably my favorite Pokemon to use in League format. I've just used it so many times. I feel that it is one of, if not the most versatile Pokemon. Everybody says it's Mew, and I can get that. I can understand that, but the beef that I have with Mew is the fact that it is like the biggest sufferer of 4 move slot syndrome of any Pokemon ever. And it's like, it's a great Pokemon to pick up, but it's just so hard, I feel, to gel a team around. Whereas you have a Clefable, which can Wish Pass, Calm Mind setup, Stealth Rocks, all this other stuff. It's been tried and tested to be solid there. Whereas Mew, it can fit every role in your team, but like maybe your team doesn't need those specific roles that Mew can fill. And then it's like, well, you know, why did you draft it then? And it causes way too many headaches. And I'm a pretty chilled guy, so I just like Clefable because I can slap it in a team and say, that's a good fairy type, that's going to do its job. Happy days.
Absolutely, no, and I've seen you use Clefable too, and you use it very well. So if you had to like describe your battling style, and just in general, in Leagues and in Showdown, what would you describe your battling style as?
I would have to say it's Semi-Stall, which is basically the premise of Semi-Stall. For the good people at home watching this, congratulations. Is Semi-Stall is where you are not using like Blissey and, you know, all that crap. You're effectively using a team that's built on a basis of a lot of bulky attackers. So the premise is that you can take hits, constantly rotating and forcing your opponent to switch, but you're not necessarily doing like a hardcore stall where you're trying to stop them from having fun. You're bringing decent bulky cores, maybe a few fast Pokemon in there to try and sweep up, but the main idea is just a very solid core. That's what I always do when it comes to team building, drafting, battling, and Wi-Fi. Any kind of battling is it has to start with a solid defensive core of around 2 or 3 Pokemon per battle, but in a draft format, I'd say drafting-wise, I try and go with around 5 Pokemon out of the 11 for a defensive core, because I feel it is just the crux of your team. And so that's why I say Semi-Stall, because I'm not trying to build to stop you from having fun and stop you from winning. I'm just building a solid defensive system to piss you off.
That's a good way to define your battling style too, as well. I can tell you thought about that, for sure. So have you started planning for the draft yet?
Oh, I have a team ready. I'm not gonna give away exactly what I'm picking, but I've got an idea in mind. I don't know if I'll get everything. Snipes are very, very real, but I feel that it's going to throw some spanners in the work, and I feel pretty good.
Definitely. So would you say you're then confident heading into the draft, or how do you feel?
Ryan, you know me very well. These people don't know me very well, but they will understand. I'm a very, very confident person. I always back myself 110% with my choices, and I feel that this draft, I am backing myself so much, and I'm so confident with it. I feel that It won't be the best draft that I've ever done because I find that the point system in the PMC is a little bit different to what I'm used to, so I'm trying to make do with what I've got, but I feel that what I'm going to be able to create is going to be a very, very solid draft for me this season.
Absolutely. So I've just got one more question to round out the interview. The Verd, who is going to be the Pokemon Masters Cup Season 1 champion?
Tell me who you think, Ryan.
I'm unbiased.
It
I can't
doesn't
pick.
matter who you think it's going to be because the people know it is going to be the Verd. I mean, let's look back at my track record. I've never won a league in my entire career, but I will guarantee these people this season will be the season. I am, when it comes in the mail, the PokeTubers heavyweight champion of the world. I don't care if you're from Canada, America, Zimbabwe, I will take you all on, and I will crown myself. I don't care what everybody else thinks. I will crown myself the Pokemon Masters Cup Season 1 champion, because that is the bottom line, and that's because the Verd says so.
Well, you heard it here from the Verd people. Tampa Bay Frogadiers are going to be the Season 1 Pokemon Masters Cup champion. Well, thank you very much, the Verd, for coming out and doing this interview for us. We really appreciate it.
You are more than welcome, Ryan.
And as always, guys, make sure you check out the Verd's YouTube channel. It's the only way you're going to be able to see his battles. They're all going to be on his YouTube channel. So you can follow the Verd and the Tampa Bay Frogadiers. That link will be in the description, as well as his Twitter. Go follow him on, or no, he doesn't have Twitter, sorry. But his YouTube channel will be in the description, so definitely go and check that out. And we will see you guys once the Pokemon Masters Cup starts.